Well, you know, you think there's good. The jamming start. Tis the season. It's carnival season, definitely in full swing in the air. This morning, I want to check in with John Arnold in Tobago. Good morning to you, Mr. Arnold. How you doing?
Morning to
Ah,
you, morning
boy.
to, yeah, TNT, wider world, morning.
I see you in your black this morning for Black Friday. You ready for them?
Yeah. Well, most days I'm in black, but yeah, today I'm black again. Yeah.
the, the
By the
life,
way,
the
you
life
too,
of,
right?
the life of theater. I understand. All right.
Yeah.
So let me get into the carnival bacchanal now. 21st of January, we sipping something with some old time Kaiso. It's happening at Shaw Park.
Yes,
Talk to me about it.
yes. Well, we have two of the baddest guys who are into vintage calypsos. Tobago Crusoe, and we have David Bereaux. Well, I'm sure you know both artists. Um, During Christmas, we met in town, and Crusoe told me about doing this thing he does in London called the Tabernacle, where they just meet every Sunday. It's an old church, and they perform these old Kitchener, Sparrow, Melody, Spoiler, Roaring Lion, and so on. And I said, but that's an excellent idea. And he says, well, I'm going back in March. Let's see if we can do something. I said, yeah, man, let's do that. So the idea about bringing the two guys together to share these old time calypsos, but they also do edutainment, which is they do a bit of educating about the calypsos, the history, and so on. And the sipping part is really, you're going to have some free wine at the beginning and at the intermission. And you can have that, which will make you relax and so on. And then you take in this great Kaiso, very intimate setting in one of the rooms at Chopin Complex.
Ah, so it's in one of the rooms, not any main stage. I was wondering, you say intimate, and I know
No,
Shaw
no,
Park is
no,
one
no,
of the
by the
biggest,
way,
if not the biggest space.
no, no.
All right.
It's a nice area that holds about maybe 250 persons.
Ah, okay.
And it's going to be in the round. You're a theater man, so it's going to be in that kind of setting with the guys in the middle, and they perform from there and so on. So it's going to be really nice. The response so far has been good, and it's only $100 really.
What?
It's actually a Kaiso contribution, and
Okay, that
you
is
can wear.
That is
Yeah, go ahead.
quite possibly the cheapest show I've heard of so far with that level of quality because I mean David Bereaux,
Yes.
I know for a fact that wherever he performs and he does the old time Kaiso renditions and he does the edutainment like you say, it's always a fantastic show worth way more than
Yeah,
$100 by himself. So if you put Tobago Crusoe on
yeah.
top of that too, then you giving away a show.
Well, yeah, well, you have to understand the space too, eh? So, yeah, when you understand the space, yes. So the pricing is, yes, there's no way you can put that price to say, well, yes, but we understand the psychographics a bit. And so it's priced at that to make it really affordable and have people really come out and support the two guys. But even beyond that, more than to be entertained. We are actually encouraging some of the theater arts students. I'm reaching out to some of the teachers in the secondary schools to bring some of those A-level students who are doing that kind of thing to come and listen and learn. Because I think it's education and entertainment in one. And so it's going to be a wonderful evening, all vintage, and we're really looking forward to people I hope we get standing room.
I hope you get some left, right? It's
Yeah.
always interesting for me because just the other day at Black Sardin's funeral, Justice Lucky would have mentioned, using the music in the school curriculum and using it as part of the education system. I'm assuming that based on this model, you definitely are in full support of something like that.
Oh, yeah. Totally. As a matter of fact, Crusoe does this continuously. And it's funny, he does it in the UK, France, Germany. He travels doing the same education in classroom. That's how he really, and actually he told me coming out of one of those things, they were looking for somebody to do, that's how he got on to the two Paddington 1 and Paddington 2 movie when he got to perform. And he said that's how he did. They were asking about Calypso person. And they said, well, we got a great guy who's going around. We don't need to go out of London. He's in London.
Yeah.
And so that Kaiso in education is really critical. I know Chalky is very supportive of that, and he does that anyway. Relator also does it.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, for me, these guys have set the bar really high. Do you see it continuing
Really
to the next generation?
Right, that's an interesting, and I think part of what David was talking about when we spoke was that he really wants to get into passing on this art form to a newer generation. Tobago Crusoe also told me something very enlightening. He said people come to him and tell him, write a calypso for me. And he says, no, if you start the calypso and get it going, I will help you to craft the calypso.
Yeah.
So he's really strong about people getting into the art of making calypso, not buying calypsos.
Yeah.
So that was interesting to me,
And we have a generation of people that think like that, right? So I remember, even as far as people like Super Blue say, he not writing no soca, no Kaiso for nobody. You will have to. He could teach you the elements and the fundamentals and things like that, but you have to do it for yourself in order to be able to learn it and to understand it and to be able to grow from it. So, they say by Calypso, our stories are told, and we look forward to hearing some of these stories being told. Are they going to do like a clash as well, a tune for tune kind of situation?
Well, I don't know. I think that might end up to be something spontaneous. This is the first time I think the two of them are meeting in the same place.
Nice.
To do this kind of thing. So I'm hoping, because I've heard Tobago Crusoe extempo, and he's not a joker in that either. So it will be fun to see how they interact, and maybe the collaboration might be spontaneous and impromptu. But I'm looking forward to the evening, and really appealing to Tobago people, Trinidadians. If you're in Tobago, visitors, anybody, please put this market on the calendar, Saturday the 21st at 6 o'clock. We're going to do the sip and Kaiso.
All right, that's actually next week Saturday. So next week Saturday, 6 p.m., Shore Park, Tobago. Yeah. You want to be a part of it. It's only $100. Tobago Crusoe, David Bereaux. Boy, with some good Kaiso. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Mr. Arnold, and sharing this. All the best with it.
Thanks a lot, Rawkus.
I wonder if I could get a flight to come next week Saturday, boy.
Yeah, man. Flights, I know. That's the easiest thing to get, Rawkus. You don't know that?
We go sort out something.
Because you just have to go to the airport and say, I need to go to Tobago, and you will get on,
All right, so I could call your name is what you're saying? I'll find you get quiet.
They pass you in there, man. They pass you in there.
John Arnold, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Do enjoy the rest of your day.
Yeah.
All right, take care. So it's happening, SIP and Old Time Kaiso, the 21st of January, that's next Saturday, kicking off at 6 p.m. Shore Park, Tobago, featuring Tobago Crusoe, and of course, David Bereaux with some good old vintage Kaiso. And if you know me, I love a vintage. Let me take a quick break and come back with more inside the Now Morning Show. Stay tuned.
A Bajan and a Trinidadian dying with starvation. The Bajan say, look, Trini, now we make a cook. I put the rice.